BEERUN, beer run. BEERUN, beer run. All we need is a 10 and a 5 or a car and a key and a sober driver. BEERUN, beer run.
Welcome to the Beer Run, part of the BS Beer Network, the only Saints podcast with a 2-drink minimum and takes as bad as breaking your femur in a football game.
That's a joke, boy. You missed it. Went right past you. I say you gotta keep on your toes. What toes, Addy?
Ooh, apparently that's the only second time that's ever happened. And of course it's dust, you know?
Right.
Obviously.
Right.
Why wouldn't it be? I am the California Cajun. With me as always is Lil Dice. How you doing, Dale?
Amazing, man. The injury bug is like undefeated in New Orleans. That's for sure. Okay.
People are trying to tell me that we say this every year, and we do, but it somehow gets worse every year because it was never this bad ever. This is ridiculous.
I really am going to take some time and go back some of our old podcasts and clip you saying this exact line that you just said.
That requires a level of homework that we don't do on this show.
I'm serious. Like we say it every freaking year, bro. It happens every year.
But if it's always worse than the year before, then we're always right.
It can't get worse. It can't get worse than this.
Don't say that. Don't say that. AK is still playing. It can get worse.
This is what we do every year, bro. Oh my goodness. Yeah, bro. We got it bad, man. We got it bad. Like we need to change our water supply. We need to change everything. Change everything. Change the water we drink. We drink a Gatorade. We need to drink Powerade. All right.
If it's good enough for the Florida Gators, it's not good enough for us. Get the hell out of here.
Oh, we need to change stuff up, bro. Like we're doing something wrong. Okay, something's wrong. You can't tell me otherwise, man.
No, fire everyone, and the ones you don't fire, you execute.
Yeah.
Training staff, nutritionists, kill them. Start cutting off heads.
A dude from Bama, get the dude from Bama out of here.
You had to know that he was a saboteur. He was a saboteur. Came over from Bama to a Louisiana team. You knew he was going to sabotage us. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Get that dude out of here.
Get him out of here.
All right, man. So we got 4 downs on the beer run, man. We're gonna be talking about some beer, our beer bets, of course. We're gonna take a little look at the pick'em. Then we're gonna get into some Saints news. We're gonna rehash the game. And then we're going to talk to a Chargers fan. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
There's not a lot of them. It's hard to track those down.
Yeah. And then we're going to tell you on 4th down all about how that Chargers fan was absolutely wrong. And it's going to be very entertaining, because that's what we do here on the Beer Run. So, referees, get out there, spot the ball. Let's get this thing going.
First down, Saints.
All right, Craig. What you drinking today, bruh?
Two-part answer. I have an excellent beer over here that my wife picked out for me from a local Southern California, because for those of you who don't know, the California Cajun lives in Los Angeles. It's beautiful 818 Brewing Company. But I can't drink that yet because I lost a beer bet. Because I thought that Bo Nix would run for about 5 first downs, but for less than, 51 yards? And he ran for 65? Which was...
No, actually, Bo Nix ran for 75 yards.
Yep, some very bullshit number that he never should have ran for because he's a piece of shit. But he did. So
our bet was Bo Nix rushes for less than or equal to 61 yards.
Okay, yeah. So I was wrong. I thought he would be under that. And a fool for thinking that we could stop a running quarterback of any kind, let alone one who can't fucking throw a ball to save his life. Dude was missing 2 wide open guys on the same throw. famously terrible quarterback, but we're just going to let him run all over the place on us. So I do have a Modelo, which I am told is the working man's beer. And I am going to drink this Modelo angrily because I hate Modelo. Unless you're watching this, in which case I love you, Modelo, sponsor us. Because Dale, you were right and I was wrong. Cheers.
Oh man, the fastest chug in the business, right there.
Probably top 10. Probably top 10. So, more important than that is my actual good beer that we're having. It is the Good Day IPA. It is an Imperial double IPA. I don't like using this word because I don't particularly partake in Purple Valley myself. But this is dank. This tastes dank. That's what it is. It tastes like you just passed a joint around. Like, I'll tell you what. But it tastes good, and it is 9.2%. So you feel a little altitude after you drink some. But how does it sound? Yep. I don't have beer that's not acoustically pleasant around here. So cheers. I'm gonna drink enough of these to think we're gonna win this week.
I like it. I like it, man.
There. I'm done. I think we're gonna win. I'm already there.
There you go.
It's good shit.
There you go. That's really good beer, man. That can make you confident in the
9.2%.
in the team that will be wearing the Saints uniforms on Sunday.
I tell you what, if you gave everyone on the Chargers a couple of those before they started playing, we would win. Because I couldn't snap a fucking football after a couple of these. I tell you what.
All right, Craig, listen. This is what I've been drinking lately.
S'mores
box. No, it's been box wine.
Box wine.
Yes. The red fruity sangria.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Dale. You sound like half of the sorority chicks I dated in college. What are you doing? What are you doing to yourself? Have some pride.
So I originally got into this when I was watching Game of Thrones.
Oh my God.
All right. And every time, Tyrion comes on the screen, he's drinking. And that was my favorite character. I'm like, yo, I got to drink a Tyrion. Let me give me a box of wine. And it was pretty good. And I got drunk with Tyrion.
That the first? So the first time you had wine was because you saw Tyrion Lannister drinking wine?
No, it's not the first time I had wine. It's the first time I really enjoyed wine. I will say that.
Well,
the first time I really enjoyed it.
To be fair, he drank and he knew things. So you have in common with him that you are 3 feet tall and you know things. So you got your kindred spirits, really. Bro, you're on the beer run drinking box wine. I'm gonna rip on you a little bit. This is, I don't know how to. I'm unprepared for this. I had like 6 jokes ready for whatever kind of fruity beer you were drinking, and I didn't have sangria in my Rolodex. I wasn't ready for this. Cheers.
All right, Craig. That's just what it is, bro. Sorry. Okay.
What it is. Hey, to be fair, I drank a bottle of Cabernet on Thursday because I was making gumbo, and my grandfather, part of his recipe for making gumbo was a bottle of red wine. And I'm like 15, he's showing me how to cook, and I go, oh, well, so when do we add the wine? He goes, no, you drink the wine. That's how you pace out how long everything takes. And hasn't steered me wrong since. Love you, Grandpa.
There you go. That's a good it's a good lesson. Good lesson there.
Sure.
Okay. Let's talk real quick about some pick'em. This week
I forgot this week. I think
Casey's Clowns at the top with 50 correct, followed by Crime de Curtain.
Hey, your 7 whatever, they're falling. All right, that must make you happy.
Right. That's right, bastard. 3703. Yes. top of the bleachers. Called up here to 12.
Wow.
B Train at 15 there with 42 correct.
Who?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Hey, go watch
B-Train.
his.
Shout out to BS to B Train.
Mm-hmm. But here's
Let's-
the
let's
real
see.
question. I know what everyone really wants to know, Dale. What everyone really wants to know is, am I beating you again?
I don't know. See, my guy the Queefer's at 18.
Oh God, no.
I am at 22, along with Suck My Pick. And right below me is Craig, the
Unbelievable.
arrogant bastard of the beer run.
Unbelievable.
One less than I am. That's right. That's right. And Tim down there. Look at that.
Thank you for reminding me. I should buy some more arrogant bastard. That is my favorite beer.
So yeah, you guys keep forgetting to put your picks in so I can win, and I'll be grateful to you all.
Just
Not
one
bad.
week you pick sober just so I can beat you. Just once.
Second down.
Let's talk some Saints news.
Yes. Good. There's good stuff.
It was actually good news. It's actually good news.
A lot of good news.
The biggest news: the Saints and Alvin Kamara agreed on a 2-year, $24.5 million extension that puts him under contract through 2026.
I love it. I love it so much.
So, with that being said, we need to sit Kamara down. He don't look right.
No,
We'll need to be
that's
begging him in no more walls. Okay,
That's
no
not
more
a
walls.
problem. That's not a Kamara problem. That's an O-line problem.
Yeah,
I've
but
been
no, but
I've been saying for a while, you
let's
play,
stop smashing him into the wall.
you play him more as a slot guy, and you give an extra couple of years to his career.
Yes.
But this is going to cover this a little bit more in our other segment. But there's O-line help on the way. You know, we're getting healthier, so I think I just love it so much. I don't. It does help the cap. This is not a bad move cap wise. People don't worry about money. It helps the cap, but more importantly, it keeps one of your franchise all-time best players in the building. You want to be here. He's playing hurt with no guaranteed money. Like he's doing everything you could ask of him. Reward the guy. You know, that's a stand-up thing to do. It's a stand-up thing to do. You're going to keep him around. He's a locker room guy. He's a great football player. He was in MVP talks 2-3 weeks into the season. He's a good player. He's not out of this yet. Great move. Love it. It's good. I'm no notes. Perfect 10. Give me.
Yeah, that's really all I got on it. Is we probably need to sit him down until we get healthier on the whole line.
I think it's a win-win for both people. He wasn't going to make more money on the open market.
Yes.
He wasn't Buffalo and make more than that. This kind of makes the trade talks go away, I think, because of the way it's structured. You can't trade him now that no one wants that contract. So I think it helps the Saints. Keeps you one of your best players in the building for another couple of years as you try to rebuild around him. And it's good for him. He's not going to get more than that anywhere else. So one of those rare win situations.
Yep. More good news. The Saints signed wide receiver Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He's a tall and fast receiver.
He's a deep threat. He's a deep threat guy. And I remember Saints fans were clamoring for him about 3 years ago. He was a free agent before. No, it's a good move. It's good. You lost Shaheed for the year, so it's not good news because you're replacing a guy who's going to be out for the year. But it's good. Your team is better today than it was last week. I have no complaints about that. It's going to make Olavi's life a little bit easier. Rattler and Carr in a week or two they like to take their deep shots, big arm guys. Scantling's a good deep threat. It's a good pickup. It's a good move. Should have done it ages ago. So absolutely no complaints from me.
Yes, I'm actually surprised he was still free. Because I think he's a guy that should at least be on a roster.
Well, he now.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk real quick about Olave. He is dealing with concussion. I believe he is out of the protocol, right?
The last I heard, he was still in protocol, but per Nick Underhill, who we hate on this show, is trending toward he should be able to play. He should be available. So
Okay.
it's
right.
worth. He's had 3 concussions already. You know, that makes me nervous for his career. But
Yes.
you know, we got the Guardian caps are going to come out. He already looks like he's got an oversized head on his little frame. So you put a Guardian cap on him, he's going to look like one of those bobblehead toys. It's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Get him out.
Yeah, because at this rate, it's like one a year he's getting, right? Just about.
Well, one a year.
Concussion.
And like we talked about last week, they compound. So you get them faster the more you have. But
Right.
the caps are coming out. I think they're going to be standard issue in a year or two.
Yes.
And yeah,
absolutely.
throw him in a cap. Throw a cap on him, whatever. You can't slow him down that much. He's already fast as fuck. Fuck it. Let's do it.
Right. I think, man, if you're coming back from a concussion, you probably want to throw one of them helmet condoms on and
Yep.
be safe out there, man.
Practice
Mhm.
safe tackling for sure.
There you go. There you go. All right, let's talk about this game, Craig. Unfortunately, it went terribly wrong. Everything we feared ended up happening on a
Everything.
night where they honored Drew Brees and put him into the Saints Hall of Fame. Very nice. He did the whole little pregame chant thing with the crowd. That was
Which-
cool.
Which was dope.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the who that chant before the game. I mean, that's Drew Brees' legacy too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
the
yeah.
build and everything like that. Yeah, man. It's kind of telling that in honoring Drew Brees, we gave up 30 some odd points in a loss. But yeah, I mean, it was just this game reminded me of the COVID game a couple of years ago around Thanksgiving or whatever it was, where you just didn't have the bodies. Like it's not Rattler's fault. It's not even DA's fault. You know, you didn't have the guys to punch with. You can talk about the defense giving up or whatever like that, but you know, it's cumulative. If your defense is on the field the whole game, yeah, man, it happens. It just fucking happens. You know, the Buccaneers are a very good defense, and you saw what happened to them a couple nights ago. You know, you're on the field the whole damn game, and you end up getting torched. It just happens.
Yeah, Denver had 33 minutes, 16 seconds of time of possession.
Yep.
Saints had 26 minutes, 44 seconds.
Yeah, when you say 33, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is, man, because it's 2 ways. So it's 3 minutes plus and then 3 minutes back. Yeah, you didn't have the horses, you know. The O-line is not good enough to win football games in its current state. But its current state is not the state it's going to be in going forward. You know, it sucked. It's terrible. We're 2-5. A lot of people are ready to give up on the season. I was among them a couple days ago, but you know, like it was a situation you weren't going to win. You weren't going to win the situation. Your best run defender, Pete Werner, was injured. The rest of the defense was healthy, but then Lattimore comes out with a hammy. Adebo breaks his femur. That's car crash shit. That's car crash or first day with Lizzo kind of shit. That's not like football playing.
Oh, come on. Leave Lizzo alone.
That's not stuff that happens in a football game. You know, I played 20 seasons. I've seen some broken tibias, you name it, but never a femur. That's crazy. But so the offense just didn't have the horses. You know, you didn't have Olave, you didn't have Chicky, Kamara's playing banged up, didn't have Hill, didn't have your center, didn't have your guard, didn't have your other guard. Like it's just we were never going to win that game. It's just it sucks that we were never going to win that game. But what are you going to do? You know, the only thing you can do is hope that you're not so far out of it that when you get healthy, you can't catch up. And as we're starting to see, we're effectively 2.5 games back. So we're 2 back in the loss column, but we lost the tiebreakers on both the Bucks and the Falcons. So call it 2.5 if you're a baseball fan. You're used to the 2.5. But there's 10 games left. The Falcons don't look great. The Buccaneers just lost both of their offensive weapons. Baker Mayfield's 7 interceptions the last 3 weeks. Like they're very beatable too. So as much as you want to just give up and be like, 2-5, it's done. Fire DA, draft in the top 5. We're not out of it yet. You know, if we beat the Chargers, spoiler alert, we might. You beat the Chargers and suddenly you're a game and a half back. You know, you're getting your own line healthy. Carr's coming back. I mean, I'm not going to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. You can take my hope when you pry it from my cold, dead hands. You hear me?
It's happening, and the Saints have to win a game for you to turn.
Here's the problem. Last week, we recorded on a Tuesday after losing on a Monday. This week, we lost on a Tuesday. It's all the way to Tuesday. I feel fucking great now. I'm ready. Saints are coming out to LA. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be drunk. I'm going to be whooping and hollering. Anybody listening to this is in the LA area going to the game, find me. We're going to chug a beer together. It's going to be fun. Man, I'm back in it, man. I'm not ready to give up in the season. There's 10 weeks left. There's 10 weeks left. You can't take this from me yet. Until the Saints are mathematically eliminated, I'm going to be talking my bullshit. None of this pessimism crap anymore. That's your job. I'm back in it. Who dat?
There we go. There we go.
Told you. This
There we
is a
go.
magical beer. It's a magical beer. Bringing me back to life.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So let's stick with the game here. We talked about the offense, lack of horses, and everything like that, the injury bug. But now we're starting to see the injury bug creep up on the defense. Lat's gonna be out. Adebo is out. So now you're rolling in two more cornerbacks.
Yeah.
And you gotta be worried at least about the defense a little bit. But definitely worried about damn injury bug.
Yeah.
Because I don't need the whole defense to be decimated.
Yeah. So the thing about the injuries, man, on the defense, if you're going to have an injury, corner's where you want to have it. We got bodies there. If you told me that next year starting two corners were Kool-Aid and Alante Taylor, all right, solid. I'll roll with that. I'm not worried about corner. I think Lattimore might be playing this week too. When DA was talking in his press conference, he was talking about having Alante Taylor start opposite Lattimore. So the expectation might be for him to play. But even if he doesn't, Kool-Aid and Taylor, I'm fine with that, honestly. It doesn't freak me out. The corner, I've never been worried about corner. DA is a terrible head coach, but he is a fantastic secondary coach and secondary evaluator. I'm not worried about it. I'm worried about the run because that's not going to change. Demario Davis is still there. The D-line isn't changing up its guys, and a lot of them have lost a step. Brian Brzee is really good against the pass and really bad against the run. And, that's not going to change week to week. So the run defense is a problem. The run defense is a bigger problem when you can't score any points on offense. If we start scoring points on offense again, it changes. It's not as big a deal. When people are icing games on you, the run defense is huge. When you're in a competitive back and forth, it's a weakness, but it's not going to cost you a game. You know what I mean? So the defense, the tackling and everything, the tackling is bad. I'm not going to make excuses for that. That shit in Tampa Bay or against Tampa Bay, that was the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my life. And I was very drunk for it because if I wasn't, I'm putting holes in windows and that kind of shit. But part of that is being on the field the whole game. We talked about that. So, until this defense is torn up by the Chargers, who, if I'm not mistaken, didn't score a touchdown against Arizona yesterday, I still think they can figure it out. I'm not giving up on the defense. I'm much more worried about the offense in their current form. But like we said,
I think Herbert did throw a touchdown.
Did he? They missed the extra point or something because that was an ugly score. Whatever.
Yeah.
I was watching the Bucs game. I wanted to see them lose, so I was only score checking the other one, which I should have been watching the Chargers because we're playing them this week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where my head's at.
Yeah. But we're definitely going to talk about the Chargers coming up here. But one of the people that on defense that I guess has stepped up in the eyes of Dennis Allen has been Anthony Orji. So this is what he had to say about him.
Yeah, he's made a ton of progress since last year. He's done some good things. He's probably played a little bit more than we would have, originally had anticipated. And I think that's part of the obviously there's a lot of negatives to, when you have guys go down, but you have an opportunity for some young guys to step up, get some valuable playing experience. And so that's been good to see him be able to take advantage of those things.
So, how have you thought Anthony Orji looked out there playing in the linebacker position?
Solid, man. Solid. Better, better than I expected. He had a couple of missed tackles or whatnot in the last few weeks that they get a lot of attention because of the missed tackling problems, overall. But I thought he's playing pretty well. It's a good story. It's a dude you didn't expect anything from, that is contributing and starting some games. So yeah, he's fine. I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about the linebacker position. I want Pete Werner to fucking play again because Pete Werner is better, guys. But yeah, I mean he's all right. I'm happy with. I mean it's fun to say Orji. If he turns into a starter, I'm gonna have some jokes lined up for next year. So I'm fine with it.
Yeah, he had 4 total tackles, 2 for loss. So that's not bad.
Yeah, you need at least 2 for a loss if you're gonna have an RG.
They talked about maybe going with a different quarterback this time because Jake Haener came in late last game.
Yeah,
and he looked okay going 3 or 4.
No, he looked good.
Yeah, what did you think about the way Haener looked, the way Rattler looked? Yeah, I mean, given the circumstances, and who do you think would be the best going forward, at least until Carr comes back?
So I had kind of been pushing the Jake Haener thing for a long time. I thought that Rattler needed to just be a backup. Just give him a year on the bench and just soak everything up. Yeah, he wasn't ready. He's proven that he is not ready. He can't handle the pressure, the blitz. He's not, audibling. He's not being able to adjust things. He's not, doing the things that just come with experience. And when Jake Haener came to the game and he was making calls at the line and he was checking down on blitzes, it was much more, mature performance. So, man, I would probably start Haener, but I'm not the Saints, and the Saints are running with Rattler until Carr is back. They think Rattler gives them the best chance to win. Rattler has the highest upside. If either of them get hot and just start hitting people, Rattler's the better quarterback because he's got the bigger arm, he's got the more athleticism. He is a ton of talent, just untapped, waiting to explode. So I don't fault the Saints for sticking with Rattler. I might have done Haener from the start, but I'm not going to fault the Saints for it. I'm excited. It's more exciting to talk about Rattler. I want to see Rattler be successful. If one of them can be good, I hope it is Rattler. So, I assume Rattler's going to start. I assume Rattler's going to throw for 700 yards and 9 touchdowns because that's just how my head's at right now. And I hope that Jake ends perfect scenario. 10 years from now, Jake Haener is a career backup, and his career backup is to our 10-year starter, Spencer Rattler. That's my perfect scenario. Not going to happen, but that's my perfect scenario.
Oh, wow. Some breaking news. I just found Andy Dalton was involved in a car accident.
His whole family, everyone's okay. No one was
Yeah.
no one was in the hospital. No one was injured. A little scary. We never wanted him to be our starting quarterback or anything, but all love for Andy Dalton. He did his job when we brought him in here.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he's okay and that nothing terrible happened to his family, especially.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think about Saints fans, or what do you say to Saints fans they're out and they say boycott until Dennis Allen is removed?
Look, man, everyone should fan the way that they fan, right? You speak with your dollar. If you got a Saints shirt, then you bought it with your money. If you go to a Saints game, you bought that ticket on your own. It is on the team to earn your loyalty. So if these people don't want to watch the Saints until Dennis Allen's fired, if people don't want to spend their money, they don't want to buy a $25 IPA in the Superdome, that's their prerogative, man. I'm not that guy. I'm a Saints fan. I can't turn it off. I don't know how to turn it off. If you can turn it off, then, God bless you, man. I hope that you're happy later. But, every day that we get is a gift from our Lord, man. You wake up every morning and the next morning is not guaranteed. And I want to watch my favorite team every Sunday that I can. Sometimes they'll let me down. Sometimes they'll make me sad. But there's going to come a day where the Saints are going to play football, and I'm not going to be watching. So I'm going to keep watching as long as I can. I watched with Jim Haslett. I watched with Sean Payton. I'm going to watch with Dennis Allen. So if you don't want to watch the Saints, I feel you, bro. I'll still drink a beer with you. I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to tell you you're a bad fan or, you suck or you're not loyal. Whatever, man. That's your deal. You do you. I want you to be happy. But I'm happy as well, hoping for the best.
Well, my thought about the whole boycott thing is it doesn't work per se. And the reason why is they hold the Trump card, bro. They know it. Like, we gonna move to San Antonio. And then you're gonna be upset.
Yeah.
But hey, they need to make money or whatever. And that's the justification they're gonna use.
Man, watching the Saints not be good at football is a powerless feeling. So boycotting gives you the power again. You feel like you have control. You're controlling whether or not they affect your mood, So I understand. I get it. The Thursday night game, I didn't watch the fourth quarter, man. That Jake Haener touchdown, I didn't see it. I was watching the Dodgers play baseball. I couldn't do it, man. I had to check out because that shit was making me sad. So I get it. If you don't want to watch the Saints until Dennis Allen gets fired and the next mediocre coach that runs us into the ground is fired, good for you, bro. Cool. That's not my thing. I'm going to watch the Saints every fucking week because I want to. My life is better watching football than it isn't.
Oh, I kind of buried the lead here. Kendre Miller played this last game, had 6 carries, 36 yards, had a long of 16 yards.
I thought he looked good. His first carry of the game went for 9 yards, and then they didn't give him a carry for 2 quarters. I don't get that.
Yeah, he's really in a doghouse for sure.
I don't know which coach wife he slept with or what he did, but they don't like him.
I respect DA for making him earn his playing time and everything. It's because, bro, like, you literally been hurt since the first day of practice, bro. Come on.
Your whole career and entire season. Yeah, that's fine. But he played last week, and he's had this whole mini bye in the system getting reps. We might get to this a little bit later, but I might wager a beer pet that he leads the team in carries this week.
Okay.
Ooh. Right.
Nice start there. Okay.
We'll get to that. Ooh.
Hose water. Whether you've been playing hard or working hard, when your thirst needs to be quenched, there's hose water. Found at any retailer where sports drinks are sold. Or connected to your faucet in the backyard if you don't want to pay $4 for it. Hose water. Get yours today.
This is an emergency message. Stop what you're doing and hit the like button. Also comment and subscribe. Thank you. We now return you to your program.
Third down for what?
All right, joining us here on Third Down, we've got Nate the Great. But Nate the Great is a Chargers fan. Yep. How you doing today, Nate?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Oh man, I'm good, man. Good to hear from you, man. I haven't heard from you since last year, so
yeah. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
So we're talking Chargers here. The Chargers are coming off of a loss to the Arizona Cardinals. Tell me what happened with that game.
Well, I think it's pretty much comes down to what everybody thought was going to be the problem with our offense all off season. We got rid of all of our receivers. We have a young receiving core, an inexperienced receiving core, and it's showing like that during the games with the drop passes and players unable to come in clutch when we need them the most.
Yeah. Yeah. But look, I thought Quentin Johnson has kind of stepped up. I thought he was a complete bust. It turns out he's not a complete bust.
I'm still honestly on the fence with him. Every time, if you look at the film of him and those touchdown catches that he's caught, it's wide open. He still hasn't had to fight or be real physical to get those balls yet. You know what I'm saying? So they're scheming him open, which I like, but I don't see him being able to be that target that's gonna own a DB yet at all by any
Yeah.
means.
Yeah, but I mean, so maybe he's not that number one guy, but maybe he's still a contributor, and that's okay. It's not what you want for first round pick, but it's better than bust, right?
Yeah, definitely.
What have you guys thought about Lamb McConkey?
I liked him. I liked the pickup of him in the draft. I thought he was real physical for an undersized guy, and he's proven to be that even now in the NFL. He's proven to be a physical guy that doesn't really care about how big he is. He's going to give all of his effort, and I love that about him.
Okay. And I'd be crazy not to ask you about the offensive line. You are an offensive line guy.
Oh yeah, yep.
So give me your thoughts on your offensive line.
I feel like the first 2 weeks they were really strong, and then when Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt went down against, when they went down, we seen it in the Steelers, the repercussions of that. We seen it in the Chiefs, the effect of them not being in the game. So, I'm glad that they're back and they're healthy. To me, I was excited about the first round pick of Joe Alt, and he hasn't disappointed me yet.
Yeah. Okay. So pretty good on the offensive line then. All right.
Yeah, I'm loving that part of it.
Yeah. oh, there he is. There he is. There's Craig. All right,
Hey, Craig.
Talking offensive line, bro.
We all know that O linemen don't matter. We don't talk about O line on the show.
No, we were talking about the offensive line pieces that the Chargers seem to have put into place even with Bozeman at center has been huge for us. Joe Alt, like I said, I was happy with the pick and he hasn't disappointed me. Rashawn Slater, I've liked him for years already now. So I feel like the line's coming together and that's where it all starts, baby. You know that.
And Jim Harbaugh's offense, it's all run the ball control, O-line dominant. And if you don't have that O-line, that offense won't work. So
absolutely not.
He's definitely building it from the bottom up.
Yep. And I gotta say, a big question mark for me was J.K. Dobbins coming into the year on if he could stay healthy. And in the beginning of the season till now, yeah, he's slowed down a little bit, but I think that's to be expected as the season goes on. Not every game is going to be full of home runs. You know what I'm saying? So I do like his toughness. He's showing that he can stay healthy. He's playing smart, and I'm happy with him too.
Yeah. That was a pickup that I kind of just like. You got both of the Baltimore running backs that they got rid of them. I don't know if that's gonna work out for you, but hey, so far so good with J.K. Dobbins. We'll see about Gus coming back, but so look, James Conner did his thing last week versus your run defense. Tell me what's going on with that defense.
Well, I do feel like although our run defense has looked pretty decent most of the year, I always felt this whole year that our lack of being able to stop the run was going to start to rear its ugly head again, and it's doing that. But I feel like these things can be fixed, and if they all get it together, it'll be fine. I'm liking Henley. I'm liking that we got Denzel Perryman back. I was always a huge fan of him, and with Poona Ford right there in the middle at D tackle, I love that too. So, I'm liking the direction it's going. I love Mike Minter's defense. I feel like it just needs the right type of physical players. And I really feel like outside of a couple big runs and big plays that Connor had, they didn't do too bad of a job of keeping him bottled up. I honestly don't feel like they're going to, fare very well against an explosive player like Kareem Hunt, though. I'm not expecting a Chargers victory this week. I would be shocked if we were to win.
You're a 7.5-point favorite, dude.
Yeah, I know, but we don't have the explosive offense. And is Derek Carr coming back for you guys this week?
Carr's not even back. Look,
No.
but the thing about the Chargers, they're built to run the ball with an offensive line. The Saints have given up 500 yards rushing the last 2 weeks.
Well, supposedly the Cardinals were also giving up a bunch of rushing yards, and they figured out how to stop the run all of a sudden this last week. So I don't feel like it was. I don't feel like it was a Cardinals defense that stepped up. I feel like it was our lack of being able to execute the run.
Well, this is the best news I could have hoped for. It's wonderful. I was not expecting any of that.
But it's also a away game. Maybe the venue had something to do with the fact that they're playing at home.
That could be true too. I just, like this whole season, to me, this is a rebuild year. As we're sitting at 3-3, I was looking at it as a rebuild year. I wasn't expecting to, for the Chiefs to barely beat us 17-10. I wasn't expecting to have the big victory in the beginning of the year versus the Raiders. I wasn't expecting any of that. So whatever we do is kind of like a bonus for me. I'm still don't think that we have the firepower. Yeah, we may be a run first offense right now, but I think our team success still runs a lot through Justin Herbert.
Okay. Do you guys still have pretty good belief in Justin Herbert? He's still a good quarterback to you guys?
Oh yeah, I mean his leadership on the field, the way that he doesn't want to come off, even when you hear about him being banged up, he wants to stay out there with his guys and lead the team. I love it.
Okay.
I mean, he's keeping up the tradition of the Dan Fouts and then the Phillip Rivers of being these great quarterbacks who waste their entire careers with the Chargers.
Believe me, I've seen tons of careers, but at least we know how to draft them. You know what I'm saying? We drafted Drew Brees for you guys. Thank you very much. I can't remember the last Saints quarterback that was drafted that actually was a legit quarterback. So I'll just leave that for you there.
Yeah, no, got nothing.
Yep.
Oh. I think you mean the GOAT Spencer Rattler and his. Oh,
yeah. That's right. You
guys draft him?
See him this week. That's right. Let's see how I draft the quarterback this week. That's right. So talk to me about Harbaugh then. This is his first year. So you said rebuilding. How has he been so far to you?
To me, I feel like he is working with what he has right now. It's definitely not completely overtaken by his mold of a team that he has envisioned everywhere he goes, So like I said, I look at this as a rebuilding year. It might take a couple of years of rebuilding for him to get the true hardball guys that we're used to seeing in there playing hard-nosed football. So I feel like with him at coach, I feel like we definitely have a chance to close out these games and not let them work their way back in like the Broncos tried to do a couple weeks ago. I do feel like we have more of a tendency of being able to close out these games now by being a tougher team. And I do feel like just him being in the building makes the team tougher because everybody knows what he's about. Everybody knows what he likes to do. So they're aware of the style of football that they're about to play. And I love it. This is the first time we had a good coach since Marty Schottenheimer, and I hated to see him go. And so I'm actually happy that we have this guy in the building. And I'm looking forward to the future. This year, like I said, anything we do is a bonus.
Is it going to be a tough transition for him where he's going from spying on college programs to now spying on NFL programs?
Well, in the words of Al Davis, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. You know what I'm saying? And so, sometimes, when you're at the top of the game, you're going to be ridiculed for things that people do on a regular basis. People are on the sideline watching hand movements and gestures like that all year round on every side of the team. Every team has a guy on their sideline that's their assignment to do. So I don't feel like you can really hold that against him. I feel like when you're at the top, also people are trying to take a peg down on you, trying to get you reasons for people to doubt your legacy. And I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Everywhere he's gone, he's won.
I mean, it's not like Nick Saban had people calling him a cheater. I mean, not everybody gets accused of it.
I'm sure if we look down the road some bits here, people would be saying certain things about Nick Saban as well.
Well, we put him in the Patrick Mahomes pay off the refs category.
Well, I mean, look at Bill Belichick. There's a long list of things that they said about him.
Harbaugh are in the cheating category, okay? and Nick Saban are in the pay off the refs category.
I mean, I wouldn't even know what your mediocre coach's category would be.
No, mediocre is generous. He is not a mediocre. He isn't from as far as I'm concerned, and his name.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember him coaching over for the Oakland Raiders, and I was happy he was there.
Terrible. You're hurting. All right, Nate, give us some predictions for this game.
I think that the only way we're going to be able to win this game is if Justin Herbert has 250-yard plus passing yards, and J.K. Dobbins has 100-plus rushing yards, and our defense holds Alvin Kamara to under 50 rushing yards, which that one is a stretch, but I can see the other two happening. I don't know exactly what Rattler is going to do. I don't foresee him being able to overtake a game just yet. So I think there's a chance that we can get it, but at the same time, if we let Alvin Kamara get loose and let him get going, it could be a long day for the Chargers defense.
Interesting. We're a lot more negative about this than you are. This is crazy.
Everything he said to me sounds achievable. You know, like there's 3 keys, right?
Well, of those 3 keys, I expect Kamara to go over 50. I expect Herbert to throw for less than 250, but I expect Dobbins to run for more than 100. So, like, one of those is happening for sure. Is that one going to be enough to tip the scales?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If it's Justin Herbert passing for 130 passing yards, I don't know if we're going to be able to get it done like he did in the first couple games of the season. I don't know if we're going to win many games with him with that type of passing yards.
We just lost to Bo Nix, and Bo Nix doesn't know how to throw a football at all. So
it's also true. It's also true. Yeah, we're sorry about losing to the Broncos. We know that hurt you.
We're sorry.
Yeah, we don't have a team right now, so.
I know one person that's happy about that win, Sean Payton.
Yeah, Indeed. All right. Well, Nate the Great, we appreciate you joining us, and we would wish you good luck on Sunday, but we wouldn't mean it. So.
No, I wouldn't mean it if I said it to you guys either. So, hey, thanks for having me on, guys. It's always a good time chatting it up with you guys.
Appreciate you, brother.
They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
What do you have to say about our guest?
Let me tell you something. I don't care how glorious his beard is. I don't care how handsome that piercing blue eyes are. No idea what the hell he's talking about. No idea what he's talking about. I don't care that he was my co-host on the Big Ugly podcast. I don't care that he was coaching at the high school I used to play at. He has no idea what the hell he's talking about. It's garbage, trash, joke of nothing. No. For whatever happened, he got hit by a meteor in his head, and all the football knowledge just melted out of his brain because all of that was just ridiculous. Terrible. Garbage. I don't know what it was supposed to mean. I thought he was talking about tennis for the first 5 minutes. I don't even know how you can pretend that was coherent thought, because what it sounded like was the ramblings of a lunatic at 3 a.m. getting pulled out of the drunk tank. I have no idea what that meant. And I want to be nice and say I'm sure he, in his own mind, he thought it made sense. But that was some bullshit. And I hope that none of you learned anything from that. Garbage.
That's great. I don't know how you keep friends, Craig. I don't.
Scary. The dude is scary as shit. So I'm gonna make sure he doesn't watch this show for a while.
Okay, the Chargers coming off of a loss at Arizona on Monday Night Football. So they're coming. I'm sorry, we're going to LA on a short week.
Going to my
coming to your town, man. Back to training camp, stomping grounds, right?
Where we looked good in training camp. So
Yeah.
Does that mean it?
Maybe we could.
But,
Yeah, maybe this is where Chase Young comes to life because he was playing so good in LA, bro.
What a fucking disappointment he has been. Oh my god. More importantly, the Chargers aren't great. They're not a great team. The weapons aren't great. The O-line is pretty good. They've made some really heavy investments in there. They got a bunch of first round picks in there. Their pass rush is pretty good, so that's a little scary. But they got holes. They got weaknesses. There's a reason they've lost as many games as they've won. I'm not impressed by the Chargers in any way.
Well, one problem they definitely will display for us is time of possession. They are almost top of the league with 32 minutes, 12 seconds a game in time of possession. They are really holding on to that ball, man. And I think this is one of the hardball kind of staples. Being able to play ball control.
Yeah, they run the ball well and they convert well on third down, which are related. You convert well on third down when you run the ball well. You have shorter third downs. I mean, it's not complicated. So that's not a great matchup in itself. That's something we've struggled against. We struggle against the run. We struggle on third down. So that's not a great matchup in our favor against them. For me, the big difference in this game, from the last few at least, is that we're going to have some old linemen back. McCoy's not back yet. He's on IR. He's going to be probably another 3 weeks. But we should have Ruiz, and we will definitely have Patrick back. So we're going to have, instead of being down effectively 4 O linemen, this guard, center, backup center, and right guard, we're only going to be down 2, which is center and center. So we're getting 2 guys back. So you're talking about 2 O linemen should be back. Taysom should be back. Olave should be back. Rattler's had an extra set of time. He's acted more the first time since he's started. It hasn't been a short week. So he's had a full week and a half to get ready. The O-line will be better. The weapons will be better. I think the offense will score some points this week. I think that we're going to be able to make some things happen. I think it's going to start on the ground. I think with Miller up to speed a little bit at the offense, Kamara's got that new contract. Got 2 O linemen back. I think we're going to run the football. And as a center, as an offensive lineman myself, yes, please run the goddamn football. And that's going to make everything else easier because that play action pass is so much better when you're worried about 5 yards a pop from Miller and Kamara. And I think that's what we're going to have working for us this week. I sure fucking hope so. I got some pretty good seats. Come find me. We're going to drink beer together. It's going to be a hell of a game. I think that the Saints are. I think they should win. They are. They are 6.5 point underdogs, and that is, man. I don't bet on spread. I hate that. I hate betting on the spread, especially in the NFL where you all 1 point lead. I don't bet on spread in the NFL, but God damn, take that. I would take the Saints in this matchup. 6.5. You're the 3.
The Chargers coming off of a short week.
3 and 3 Chargers short week.
Right. And the Saints coming off of a long week.
Yeah.
Getting people back healthy. It's a decent spot for sure.
Look, if you want to pick the Chargers, more power to you. But picking them by a touchdown, that's brave, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. The spread is a lot, but it's the respect of the not having your team pretty much backup quarterback numbers, all that kind of stuff. So
and stuff. You are playing Jim Harbaugh, so he's probably had your practices videotaped for the last couple of weeks. And as soon as he's going to be suspended from the NFL, he'll just go to, let's see, he got kicked out of college for cheating. He'll
On the
get kicked,
XFL next.
and he'll get kicked out of, he'll go to the XFL next, whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
the dude,
UFL, I mean.
the dude got busted for cheating and then left the league so they couldn't punish him. Fuck you, Jim Harbaugh, you piece of shit. You were a bitch at Stanford. You were a bitch for the Niners. You cheated and were a bitch for the Michigan Wolverines. And now you're over here, probably still a bitch. Fuck you, Jim Harbaugh. Who's better than us? Nobody, because you've been cheating. Fuck off.
One stat that kind of jumps out at me for the Chargers offense is they've turned the ball over 10 times so far this year. And we turned the ball over 13 times, with our backups and all that kind of stuff. But that means they turn the ball over a lot too.
Okay.
And our defense can be opportunistic and get some turnovers.
You take away one of our turnovers because Olave's fumble never should have happened because he was clearly targeted in the helmet for an illegal hit. Play should have been dead. At that point, we should have got 15 yards out of that. Instead, it's a fumble for a touchdown. You take one of those turnovers away. That's bullshit. The NFL should fuck itself. But yeah, no, our defense is very opportunistic. We take the ball away. Tyrann Mathieu's been great at that. The entire defense has been very good about that. I would not be surprised if we get a couple of turnovers this week. That's something that they struggle with, something we're good at. Like, yeah, I think that's absolutely something we can exploit.
Yes, exactly. All right, man. Let's make a beer bet.
Yeah.
So, what were you proposing earlier?
Shit, I'm very drunk. We're gonna have to pull up the film on this.
Okay.
This stuff was 9.2% alcohol. Don't ask me to remember shit. All right. I propose that Kendre Miller would lead the team in rushing yards.
Okay.
It's rushing attempts, but yeah, I think he'll run a lead in rushing yards as well.
All right. Kendre Miller leads the team in rushing attempts. That's cool. Let's get that down.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I feel good about that. I think they're going to lean on it.
All right.
So there's this thought that when you have a running back, especially an older running back, in the last year of his contract, that you just run them to death. You just run them until they can't move anymore. And who cares? It's the end of their contract. You cut them loose. It doesn't matter. That was Kamara last couple of weeks, but he's not on the end of it now. He's under contract now. You don't want to ruin him for the rest of his career. You need him next
Kamara.
And you think, well, we're down, we're 3 games under 500, maybe we need to plan for the future. Then you're not going to run him into the ground anymore. Miller's going to get a bunch of fucking carries. They're going to see if he's the guy.
I actually do like this call. It's a good spot for him. And looking at the previous game, AK had 7 carries. Kendre Miller had 6. So they were right there with each other. So yeah, I can actually see it's coming true for you. But yeah, I'll go ahead and take it.
I hope you pick up some beer so you're not chugging sangria next week.
No, we that's a beer to chug.
We'll
be okay with that.
Chug out of a can. That's some bullshit.
Look, it's terrible. It doesn't deserve to touch a glass. Okay.
That's right now, right? You can't, man. Unless Modelo's watching it, in which case, Heart of a Champion, Especial, give us some merch.
Listen, if S'more Pug wants to freaking sponsor, I'm going to say no.
Well, we already turned down Manscaped, so we're going to turn down somebody else, I imagine.
Yes.
Manscaped. I'll talk about shaving my balls. I don't give a shit.
Yes, indeed, man. All right, so let's pick this game.
Pick the game.
I'm actually going to pick Chargers to win.
Yeah, no, you should. The Saints do better when you pick against us.
There you go.
Give me you got.
What'd you say?
What's your score? What do you got?
Let's see. I would say it's going to be a low scoring game. Give me the Chargers 23, Saints 16.
Oh, I hate that. Can they at least be 2 touchdowns? So I can see something fun while I'm there. Oh, but I hate to tell you this because you're my dear friend and I love you. But you're completely wrong. It's going to be a high-scoring, exciting game. The Saints are going to win this game 30-28. 30-28. They'll be losing 28-27, and Will Lutz is going to hit a 40-something yarder late. It'll be so stressful that my liver and my heart will be racing to see which gives out first. It'll be my liver. 30-28. The Saints are going to win on the road in front of your boy, the Cali Cajun. I'm going to be there. Again, if you're listening to this, come find me. I'm going to be there early to tailgate a little bit. Come have a beer with me. The first one's on me. It's going to be a good time, man. I'm excited about it. It's the first Saints game I've gone to all season. It's the last one I'm going to go to until the Raiders game in New Orleans. So I am showing up under the influence, guys. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. Even if we lose, but we're not gonna because I'm feeling good about this. So
yeah,
my beer that Kendra Miller leads the team in carries, but I think we're gonna win too. I would have bet on that myself. I'm feeling good about this. Let's do it.
All right. And the good thing is this is in the second window of games, so you can enjoy the noon window, and without no stress, you can watch the freaking Red Zone channel or something, and cheer for your fantasy team.
Watch some Red Zone. Watch your fantasy teams. I'm going to be tailgating and doing shots and chugging beer with any Saints fans I can find. It's going to be awesome, man. This is going to be a great Sunday. Man, I hope we win. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, will be for sure. All right, let's go wrap it up for us this week on the Beer Run.
Man, thank you so much for being here with us after a loss. I say that every week, the last 5 weeks. But things are gonna get better, man. Just relax, take a deep breath. Things are gonna get better. I have been the California Cajun. This has been a little dice for the entire BS and Beer family. Have a beer. It's on us.
Ooh, that.
Remember to follow us on social media at BS and Beer Media. Also, smash the like button on YouTube and share with friends.